Welcome to Eternal Manna, the daily devotional broadcast of Grace Gospel Church. I want to take one more look at Psalm 77 and verse 19. Your path led them through the sea, your way through the mighty waters, though your footprints were not seen. We ended yesterday by saying that the footprints of God disappear and we cannot trace them and track them. And the picture is you're walking on a bed of water. It's shallow, and as you walk, you leave some footprints. But very soon, those footprints are covered over with water and the soil, and they disappear. And the psalmist is saying that God does great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without number. We read of that actually in Job chapter 5, verses 8 and 9. And I want to underscore that word unsearchable. You cannot discern it. You cannot figure it out. You cannot analyze it. You ask the question, what is God up to? It seems so mysterious, inexplicable, unfathomable, unsearchable. And we just worship this God, even though his footprints are not discernible. God's ways are mysterious and inscrutable to humans, but we are called to trust in his sovereignty. God knows what he is doing. He knows what he is doing, and we need to rest in that confidence that God is taking us through a journey that we don't understand, perhaps a Red Sea journey or a wilderness journey. Either way, they are scary, and you are confused, you are perplexed. What is God up to? What is God really doing? Why is there are no path out as yet? But eventually, there is a way out. The people of God traveled through the Red Sea and came to the other shore. And the first thing they did was they worshipped God. They looked back, the waters had covered the Egyptian army. They were all dead, bodies floating everywhere, horses dead, chariots stuck in the sea, and the people worshipped. They burst out into a song of praise. So you're going to emerge out of your Red Sea experience, and you're going to look back and you're going to worship God. How amazing that experience has been. If it is a wilderness journey, yes, the people of God entered into the promised land through that wilderness journey. And sadly, all the unbelievers died in the wilderness. And it was the younger generation that entered into the promised land under the leadership of General Joshua. So there is a promised land awaiting you if your journey can be described as a wilderness journey. A promised land that is flowing with milk and honey, abundance of fruit and fertile land, rivers of water. But before you can come to the promised land, you and I have to go through that wilderness experience. And some of the greatest lessons in life we learn when we go through the Red Sea and when we go through the wilderness. Unforgettable lessons that are deeply etched in our memory for time and life, which we also pass on to the next generation. How God led us. So, today, remember that our God, who is sovereign, all-powerful, he will lead us through the Red Sea and through the wilderness and bring us safely to the other side. How long is this journey going to be? No one can answer that question. That is only known to God. But I can say this, the more we respond and the more we yield and the more we obey, the more we humble ourselves through these experiences, the emergence will be quicker. The longer we take to learn the lessons, the longer the journey, because God does not want us to remain the same. He wants us to change for the good and the better. He wants us to become His people and living out His calling. May God give us grace today as you and I go through these Red Sea wilderness journeys, that we will not only be patient, but we will be trusting God and obeying God so that we can emerge victorious. Amen.